Today we will be treating the fifth injection in a patient with type 2 spinal muscular atrophy, with severe scoliosis that had been treated with dorsosacral rod. What you can see already by zooming in on the initial radiographs is that the spine is not fused, and you can see interlaminal spaces. It's spaces that are a little lighter at the back of the vertebrae that seem to be accessible for a simple procedure, and so we're going to prefer the scope for her. What we see here under the crossbar of the L5 screws and the sacral screws, here we see the interlaminar space L5S1. It is the one we have chosen. So with this radiograph, you can already choose the point where you enter the skin. The skin prep has been done off camera already, and the patient under fluoroscopy is put in the lateral decubitus position. The goal is to have a frontal image on this sensor while having the patient in the lateral decubitus position. What we notice immediately is that we do a standard radiography here with a better visualization of the structures. So we see a bit more of the bone cortices in this patient, who is very demineralized. So we're going to access this more accurate image on the right screen to be able to then, on the fluoroscopy, which is less radiant and which will allow us to guide the path of the needle. On fluoroscopy, I identify the interlaminar passage here, at the level below the first L5 rod. Here I see the skin entry point with my green needle. This is where I'm going to start. Local anesthesia. I poke. That's it, poking. So you know, huh? It stings a little bit. That's normal. So we're going to try to anesthetize as much as possible the path of the needle, even if it is a small lumbar puncture needle. It can still be painful. Now I see the green needle. The entry point I chose is correct. I'm going to use the same entry point to do the least harm to the patient. Now I see I'm going a little to the right. I'm targeting the interlaminar space. This is the clearest space. Did that hurt? A little bit. Okay. The bleeding is cutaneous, not a sign of meningeal hemorrhage. Okay, that's fine. So now I see that there are the first cerebrospinal fluid coming in. I get out my 5mm syringe. So in this patient, it's one special characteristic is that her spine has been operated on. We have to make the injection in the area of the scar. We don't have any feeling at the needle level when crossing the different tissues, so it's only guided by the imagery and a little bit of the experience of the depth that might be involved with the dural sac. And so, now I'm slowly injecting. 2 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. No control is necessary. The goal is to make as little image as possible. So if we know that the needle path goes to right place, the cerebrospinal fluid drips out, so we stop. No need for photos, just for fun or checking unnecessarily. Here it is. In the end, it went well, and I only had to use one X-ray and 2 fluoroscopy images, which means that by the end of the lumbar puncture procedure, there was an exposure of 18.20 milligray in this patient who'd already had other injections, and which had been done before, for some of them under scanner. We had 3 times more exposure to ionizing radiation, on average, or sometimes twice if we went fast. Here it is the proof that with fluoroscopy, it is already faster, because we are with the patient and we can, right away, without changing, just simply correct the needle with the scope. And in addition, we have radiation exposure that is up to 3 times less than the scanner.